Hello and welcome to a fresh new edition of your favorite program, Science Monitor, a program that keeps you updated on all that is happening in the world of science and technology. First, let us take a look at the headlines. Flying bird Navratna handed over to DRDO. World Health Organization issues warning on possible resurgence of polio. Scientist of Indian origin discovers a new anti-tuberculosis medicine. Dr. Vijay Raghavan elected as Foreign Associate of the US National Academy of Science. High in energy and nutrition, jackfruit could be a staple food in future. And in our segment In Focus, we shall discuss why development of technology implies development of society. And now news in details. Newly constructed Navratna, the flying bird aircraft, was handed over to Defence Research and Development Organization or DRDO at a ceremony held at Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Kanpur on 1st of May. The aircraft will be used as a flying test bird for the evaluation of performance of various radars and equipment developed by DRDO. It will now be used for testing equipments like maritime petrol radar, artificial aperture radar, data link electro-optics and EW. Here is a report.
Fulfilling a long-felt need of a flying test bed for testing India's airborne radars and aerospace systems, the aerospace firm Hindustan Aeronautics Limited on 1st May 2014 handed over test bed Dornier lightweight aircraft to the Defence Research and Development Organization. The aircraft is named as Navratna, which means jewel in the sky. The aircraft was handed over by Dr. R.K. Tyagi, Chairman HAL, to Shri Avinash Chandra, Scientific Advisor to Defence Minister and Director General of Defence Research and Development Organization. The flying test bed is equipped with indigenous synthetic aperture radar and state-of-the-art avionics and communication system. The aircraft will be used by Bangalore-based electronics and radar development establishment as flying test bed for evaluation of performance of various radars being developed by LRDE. HAL had signed the contract for Navratna flying test bed aircraft in May 2013 and completed the project in May 2014, 6 months before scheduled time of November 2014. Earlier, LRDE was using the DO-228 aircraft of Indian Navy and Indian Coast Guard to test the radars under development. Operational needs of the defence forces often hindered this allocation, which had resulted in delays in the development of radars. It was in this view of that LRDE decided to procure a DO-228 aircraft to test LRDE-developed radars in the air. It is expected that this will hasten the testing of many systems such as maritime patrol radar, synthetic aperture radar, data link, electro-optics and EW systems. The use of flying testbed aircraft will reduce the cycle time for development of airborne systems.
World Health Organization or WHO has issued a warning of polio resurgence. That is because new cases of polio have been reported from Pakistan and Syria, due to which there is a possibility of its spread to the other countries and becoming a public health nuisance once again.
Just months after declaring India as a polio-free nation, the World Health Organization has now declared polio as a public health emergency. This is following the current polio outbreaks that has been reported across at least 10 countries in Asia, Africa and the Middle East. WHO has issued a warning that polio has re-emerged as a public health emergency and if left unchecked could spell disaster for the global quest to eradicate vaccine-preventable diseases. According to reports, between January and April this year, new cases of polio has surfaced and is spreading across borders from Pakistan to Afghanistan, Syria to Iraq and Cameroon to Equatorial Guinea. Experts feel that the situation is grave, as it is being observed that polio is re-emerging in countries previously free of the disease, such as Syria, Somalia and Iraq. In order to prevent an outbreak, WHO has recommended the governments to mandate the citizens to obtain a certificate proving they have been vaccinated for polio before travelling abroad. Polio, also known as infantile paralysis, has been a dreaded communicable disease in developing nations across the world. Caused by the poliomyelitis virus, this infection often results in inflammation of the central nervous system, leading to muscular weakness, permanent paralysis, and in some cases, even death. While in 1988, the disease was endemic in 125 countries and 350,000 cases were recorded worldwide, according to WHO data, today the virus is considered endemic in only 3 countries: Afghanistan, Nigeria and Pakistan. India, following a rigorous pulse polio program, was declared a polio-free nation by WHO in February this year.
India-born scientist Anil Kaul and his team have recently discovered an anti-tuberculosis medicine. Dr. Kaul and his team have been working on developing this medicine for the last 10 years. They have named the medicine as Sirturo. This medicine was approved by US Food and Administration in the year 2012 and now by European Union in 2014.
Dr. Anil Kaul will forever be remembered in the annals of history for his outstanding contributions towards the development of the drug to treat drug-resistant tuberculosis, which affects millions of people across the globe. Dr. Anil Kaul, who hails from Srinagar in Kashmir, is currently the research director at Janssen Pharmaceuticals Company of Johnson & Johnson in Belgium. Dr. Kaul had been working on the discovery and development of new anti-TB drug Sirturo at Janssen, the pharmaceuticals unit of American multinational Johnson & Johnson in Beers, Belgium for last 10 years. Sirturo, also known as bedaquiline, is a dialquinoline anti-tuberculosis drug. It is the first medication for pulmonary multi-drug resistant tuberculosis (MDR-TB). Sirturo was approved by the US Food and Drug Administration in 2012 and the European Union in February 2014. Bedaquiline had been the first new drug to be approved by FDA for treatment of drug-resistant tuberculosis in the past 40 years. The discovery of bedaquiline is considered to be a big milestone for the global public healthcare system, as it is estimated that about 1.5 million people die of TB each year across the world.
The Secretary of Department of Biotechnology, Dr. K. Vijay Raghavan, has been elected as a Foreign Associate of the US National Academy of Sciences. Dr. Vijay Raghavan is one among the 21 Foreign Associates elected in 2014. The members are elected to the US National Academy of Sciences in recognition of their distinguished and continuing achievements in original research.
It is a proud moment for Indian science that Dr. Krishnaswamy Vijay Raghavan, Secretary Department of Biotechnology, has been elected as a Foreign Associate of the prestigious US National Academy of Science in recognition of his outstanding contributions in the field of genetics and neurogenetics. Dr. Vijay Raghavan is one of 21 Foreign Associates elected this year to the Academy. He joins a select group of Indians, which includes former Director of NCBS Obaid Siddiqui, National Research Professor CNR Rao, evolutionary biologist Raghavendra Gadkar, and Madhav Gadgil, and aerospace engineer Rod Damnar Simha. Dr. Raghavan, a distinguished professor at the National Centre for Biological Sciences, Bangalore, is also the current Secretary of the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. Recognized as one of the founding pillars of NCBS, Bangalore, his research focus involves study of the development of the neuromuscular system involved in locomotion in the fruit fly. He is also known for setting up InSTEM, an institute that is devoted to understanding the process of developmental programs in stem cells from a basic biology and translational perspective. Renowned worldwide for his research acumen, he was recently elected a Fellow of the Royal Society London and is also the recipient of several prestigious awards including the Padma Shri, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award, J.C. Bose Fellowship and the Infosys Science Prize in Life Sciences.
Climate change is pushing the scientists to look for miracle crops. Agriculturists around the world are now focusing on crops which can withstand the pressure of climate change and provide energy and nutrition in abundance. For this, several foods are being re-examined. In just such a re-study, it was revealed that the jackfruit has all the qualities to substitute our staple foods like wheat, corn and maize, as it is massive in quantity as well as nutrition. What other benefits does it have? We'll see in this report.
All of us are familiar with jackfruit, the largest known tree-borne fruit belonging to the mulberry family. But not many of us may know that jackfruit is the national fruit of Bangladesh, and it is believed to have originated in the southwestern rainforests of India in present-day Kerala, Tamil Nadu, coastal Karnataka and Maharashtra. While in India, jackfruit is used occasionally as a vegetable for cooking and ripe jackfruits are consumed raw or as part of regional delicacies, world is now looking at jackfruit as a replacement for wheat, corn and other staple crops under threat from climate change. The World Bank and United Nations warned recently that rising temperatures and unpredictable rainfall had already reduced yields of wheat and corn and could lead to food wars within the decade. Under such circumstances, jackfruits have emerged as a possible solution to meet the food demands of increasing population across the world. Research shows that jackfruits can compensate for cereals and grains both qualitatively and quantitatively. Even a small jackfruit weighs around 5 to 7 kilograms, and farmers have recorded specimens of more than 45 kilograms. It is also very rich in nutrients and calories. While cereals are comparatively rich in starch, jackfruits are rich in potassium, calcium and iron. Unfortunately, while countries like Sri Lanka and Vietnam have established robust jackfruit industries, jackfruit remains a little hard sell in much of India owing to the common misconception that it is poor man's fruit. While indeed the processing of the fruit is a little tricky because of its strong odor and sticky sap, its nutritional benefits are many. It is indeed the need of the hour to push efforts towards inclusion of jackfruit in our diet to not only avail the nutritional benefits but also to meet the growing challenges of feeding people in the coming decades.
Time to take a very short break here. We will be back with more science news, so stay tuned. Welcome back after the break. You're watching Science Monitor. And now our next segment, Science Express, shall take you through an exciting journey that will show you some other scientific activities across the country and the world.
In yet another feat of scientific glory, Dr. Ravindra Dahiya, a senior lecturer at the University of Glasgow's Electronic and Nanoscale Engineering Division, has brought laurels to the nation by bagging the prestigious Engineering Fellowship for Growth granted by the Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council. The fellowship is worth £168,000. Dr. Dahiya is among the 8 leading academics from 10 British universities to be endowed with the prestigious fellowship.
Department of Biotechnology, Government of India has recently set up a Bioenergy Research Centre with an objective of the development of technology for advanced biofuels in the country. Professor K. Vijayaraghavan, Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, during an event said that the research centre is dedicated to the nation. Built at a cost of 50 crore rupees, the state-of-the-art facility located in National Capital Region has been equally funded by the Indian Oil Corporation and Department of Biotechnology.
After a long, illustrious stint from being a leather researcher to Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Thirumalachari Ramasamy superannuated at the age of 66 years on 5th May 2014. For his exemplary services for Indian science, he was honoured with the Padma Bhushan Award by the President of India only a few days back. He is also the recipient of the Padma Shri for Excellence in Science and Engineering and the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award for Outstanding Research in Chemical Sciences.
According to a study published in the Asian Herpetological Research, a new snake species has been found at Mount Everest in Tibet. The scientists discovered the brownish pit viper in the southern part of the Himalayas. It has a round head and copper-colored eyes and can grow up to 1.5 meters in length. The species have been named Protothrombops himalayanus and is considered very fierce and aggressive. The expedition was started in October 2012 and was conducted by the Mount Everest Nature Reserve. The research team travelled an area of 32,000 square kilometers and has so far discovered and identified 499 species of vertebrates, including 8 species of fish. According to a new research done by Andreas Johnson University of Gothenburg, liquid water existed on the red planet as recently as 2 lakh years ago. The scientists discovered a very young crater in the southern mid-latitudes of Mars that shows evidence of liquid water in Mars' recent past. The crater contains very well-preserved gullies and debris-flowed deposits, and the geomorphological attributes of these landforms is evidence that they were formed by the action of liquid water in geologically recent time. Johnson and his team compared the landforms on Mars with known debris flows on Svalbard with the help of aerial photography and field studies, and crater statistics allowed them to determine that the age of the crater is approximately 2 lakh years. Delhi University has joined hands with the Coca-Cola Foundation to launch the Coca-Cola Development of Regional Water Studies in Delhi. On 7th of May, Delhi University and Coca-Cola India launched the program. The department will work as an academic institution with an aim to develop a globally competitive cadre of young water management professionals who can scientifically manage water resources in the country with the help of research, development and new technologies, as well as build capability for various stakeholders who can influence policy and implement research effectively. There will be different courses to choose from like MTech, MSc, PG Diploma and certificate courses. And now let us talk about technology. Well, technology is an inseparable part of our lives today. It is due to the development of technology that we have been able to surge ahead in so many different spheres of life. Now, 11th of May is celebrated as National Technology Day every year. In our segment In Focus today, we shall find out how technology has been the driving force behind the development of our country and society.
The 21st century is characterized by the socio-economic revolution brought about by novel technologies. Man's advent from dark caves to skyscrapers is the result of continuous discovery and implementation of novel technologies throughout the decade. Science and technology, thus, needless to say, have transformed and is continuously transforming the world and is paving way for the development of a knowledge-based society. To mark the technological achievements and celebrate the advantages that science and technology bestows, every year 11th May is celebrated as National Technology Day in India. India, since independence, has been steadily marching forward in the field of science and technology. India is today one of the top-ranking countries in the field of scientific research. In the changing industrial climate of the world, India's technological prowess that ranges from basic research to advanced applications is being considered a powerful tool of growth and infrastructure development. National Technology Day marks some of the major technological achievements of India and is a testimony of India's rise as a scientifically and technologically advanced country. On 11th May 1998, Indian scientists successfully carried out nuclear tests at Pokhran in Rajasthan. This nuclear test, known as Operation Shakti and sometimes as Pokhran-2, consisted of a series of 5 nuclear bomb test explosions, including 1 fusion and 3 fission bombs. Following this, on May 13, 1998, 2 additional fission devices were detonated successfully. The success of this mission placed India among the nuclear power nations. It was also on this day that the first indigenous aircraft, Hansa-3, was test flown at Bangalore and the successful test firing of the Trishul missile was conducted. Considering these technological achievements on a particular date, that is 11th May, it was decided to commemorate 11th May as National Technology Day. The National Technology Day symbolizes the quest for scientific inquiry, technological creativity, and the integration of science, society, and industry for a sustainable development. The day also aims to honor technological innovations and their successful commercialization, which is crucial to deliver the benefits of research to common man and create wealth at the bottom of the pyramid. On this day, individuals who have contributed towards science and technology in the country are recognized and honored for their contributions. In this context, the Technology Board of India has instituted a national award which is conferred on the National Technology Day. The award, which consists of 10 lakh rupees and trophies, is given to technology developers and providers of technology. In addition to this, TDB has also introduced cash award of rupees 5 lakhs and a trophy to be given to maximum 3 SSI units which have successfully commercialized a technology-based product. The National Technology Day imparts an important message to all the citizens. As our late Prime Minister Shri Jawaharlal Nehru and many others after him envisioned, for India to be a self-sustaining nation, there exists a need to promote scientific and technological research in the country. India is blessed with a huge talent which needs to be translated into technological innovations. The world, needless to say, is looking up to us to develop innovative technologies that can address the needs of tomorrow. In such a scenario, the National Technology Day is a matter of pride to all and an inspiring occasion to remember, cherish and carry forth the legacy of technological development.
And what has been this week's contribution to the history of science? Let's find out in our segment, History of Science.
7th May 1992. Space Shuttle Endeavour was first launched into space by NASA. Space Shuttle Endeavour, named after the famous British HMS Endeavour, is one of the retired orbiters of the Space Shuttle program of NASA. Space Shuttle Endeavour was a mixture of rockets, spacecrafts and aircraft. It is credited with the redeployment of stranded Intelsat 6 communication satellite, putting the first African-American woman astronaut, Mae Jemison, into space, carrying the first service mission to the Hubble Space Telescope and delivering the Unity module to the International Space Station. Space Shuttle Endeavour retired in 2011 and is now displayed at California Science Center. 8 May 2003. The modified variant of Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle or GSLV Mk1A was launched through the developmental flight called GSLV-D2 from the Satish Dhawan Space Center by ISRO. GSLV-D2 carried the GSAT-2 satellite and the payload weighed about 1825 kilograms. GSLV-D2 successfully reached the correct geosynchronous orbit. The launch was made following the failure of GSLV Mk1A carrying GSAT-1 launched on 18th April 2001 to reach its orbit. 9th May 2003. NASA scientists for the first time took photographs of the Helix Nebula. The Helix Nebula, also known as the Helix NGC 7293 or popularly known as the Eye of God, is a large planetary nebula located in the constellation Aquarius. It was discovered by Carl Ludwig Harding and is located at an estimated distance of 700 light-years from Earth. Helix Nebula is known to have a special shape called a prolate spheroid and is the first planetary nebula known to have special formation called cometary knots. 11th May 1998. India successfully carried out its second nuclear test at Pokhran in Rajasthan. This nuclear test, known as Operation Shakti and sometimes as Pokhran 2, consisted of a series of 5 nuclear bombs test explosions, including 1 fusion and 3 fission bombs. Following this, on May 13, 1998, 2 additional fission devices were detonated successfully. The success of this mission placed India among the nuclear power nations. The first nuclear test in India was codenamed Smiling Buddha and was conducted in May 1974.
So how do you like our program Science Monitor? Well, do send in your comments and suggestions through email. Our email address is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also send us your suggestions by post. Our postal address is Vigyan Prasar, C24, Kutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. So So that is all in today's edition of Science Monitor, but we shall meet next week with more dosage of science news and lots more exciting information. Till then, goodbye and take care.